Steve Simmons along with Bob Elliott here at Kauffman Stadium after the Blue Jays lose and are eliminated in the American League Championship Series. And Bob, it's so hard to believe this is all over. It's a season that kind of crept up on people. It came out of nowhere after 100 games, and then it took the whole city by storm.
It certainly did. It took the whole city, it took the whole country from coast to coast. They were middling along 50, 50, 51 and 51, and all of a sudden all these trades, an influx of talent, which doesn't often work. This year it worked both with the Blue Jays and it worked with the Mets. One team's going to the World Series, one's not.
And the two teams going to World Series, by the way, both traded Jose Bautista away on the very same day, which is pretty unique in baseball circumstances, and considering what Jose Bautista meant to this season and to this Blue Jays team.
Jose Bautista is not going to win the MVP award, but I would think he'd be, if the Blue Jays had won, he was their MVP during this ALCS. The 2 home runs tonight in the elimination game, including the 2-run shot in the 8th inning.
What will you take from this season? Is it the way people reacted? Is it the way fans got excited? Is it the way this team scored runs? What will you remember about this Blue Jays season?
I think it's a lot of things. It's the way teams scored runs. It's the way Alex Anthopoulos proved decisively. He earned his spurs, if you want to go with that expression, as a general manager. I think the fan reaction, it was something we hadn't really seen here. Quite unlike '92 or '93. Is like I think you wrote earlier. It was more like 1985, where they were shocked if there was a loss. They were supposed to win every game, and the youth of the fans. The kids were 30 years of age, so they're kids, yeah.
And the kids tonight, because their kids have been so important for this Blue Jays team, whether it be Marcus Stroman, whether it be Roberto Osuna, whether it be Aaron Sanchez, the 20-year-old closer and the young, setup guy tonight couldn't get the job done.
Right. Yeah, Sanchez took over for Price, the inherited runner scored, and then Osuna gave up the run in the bottom of the 8th when Bautista came up and he threw to second base rather than throwing to the plate. Now I don't know if he got the information from Goins or not that the guy was that Lorenzo Cain was running on the pitch, but it would have been easier if he'd thrown the ball to the first base, and then you got a shot at the plate, and he probably holds the runner up at third.
Do you remember the last time you saw a guy score from first on a base hit?
A very infamous play when Canada beat Team USA 4 years ago in the Pan Ams, 2-1.
Sure doesn't happen often.
No.
One of the most famous plays in baseball history is Eno Slaughter scoring from first base in the World Series with Johnny Pesky holding the ball. It was before, I believe, either of us were born, but doesn't happen very often. Neither does a season like this one, and I'm not going to forget it for a long time. I suspect Bob's not going to forget it for a long time. Entertaining, exciting, everything you'd really want except the right kind of ending. For Bob Elliott, I'm Steve Simmons from Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City.